This is the third and final day of the Rally d'Italia Sardinia, the 7th round of the World Rally Championship. Championship leader Sebastian Loeb began day 2 in the unaccustomed position of being in 2nd place, something he has not experienced since round 3 in Mexico. Marcus Gronholm had shown that he and the Ford Focus were more than equal to the Frenchman on gravel and had built a lead of over 30 seconds. He had every reason to feel confident.
I'm not worried, no. Sure? Sure.
But nothing can be taken for granted on these Sardinian stages, and yesterday they started to cut up rough. Chris Atkinson discovered that control over speed is often the best method. Henning Solberg found that you only need to stray a few centimetres off the stages to find immovable obstacles. The Norwegian retired with a hold radiator while holding 4th position. 3rd placed Mikko Hirvonen just about got away with it when he got off the racing line. And there is danger on the racing line. Sebastian Loeb escaped with just a damaged sump guard when he hit this big rock embedded into stage 8. This is Marcus Gronholm approaching that same point. Just a few centimetres difference in his line meant the damage to Gronholm's Focus was much greater. He had an immediate loss of oil pressure and was forced to retire.
There was a stone and big bang, but I followed the other's line, but I have no luck for the moment, so it's incredible.
Loeb yet again was now the rally leader. One of the main attractions of day 2 was the duel between Dani Sordo and Gigi Gali in his home rally. And with the retirement of Gronholm and Henning Solberg, this was now a battle for 3rd place. They swapped position on 4 of yesterday's 6 stages, including the last of the day, with Sordo prevailing by a margin of just 1.3 seconds. But on the road section back to service, there would be heartbreak for Gali. He had damaged his radiator somewhere on the final stage. With his car overheating, he could go no further.
Water temperature and the oil temperature going very high, and it's very dangerous for the engine, and we have to stop.
Gali was inconsolable and has decided not to restart today. And with no drive guaranteed after this event, this could be the last time we see him this season. Loeb quickly went from 2nd to being the leader by over 2 minutes yesterday. Hirvonen in 2nd and Sordo in 3rd are separated by nearly 40 seconds. Loeb's Kroner Citroën teammate Zevi Pons is 4th. Sardinia is about an hour's flying time from the nation's capital, Rome. The rally is based around the city of Olbia in the north of the island. 6 stages make up this final day. They only total 78 kilometres, but there is no service stop. Car damage and mechanical failure has to be avoided. Petter Solberg knows lots about mechanical failure. Yet again, Solberg's Subaru and most significantly his Pirelli tyres have not been up to the challenge. Instead of fighting for the lead, he will spend the final day fighting over the minor points. He starts the day in 8th.
Line into short end in 1, tightens early, opens 60. 6 left last, 18.
Christian Solberg starts the day just under 30 seconds ahead of his namesake. His 7th place and the 2 championship points that go with it are under threat. need to avoid moments like that. Christian Solberg was soon back on the road, but loses time to the man in sixth, his fellow Finn Jussi Välimäki, driving a Mitsubishi Lancer.
Cut 5 right. Open.
Chris Atkinson was in second position after stage 1.
3 right. 18. 8 left.
But that is as good as it got for him. But if he can hang on to fifth, that will be his best finish of the season. A fourth place finish will be above Xavier Pons' expectations. He's benefited from the problems of others. A strong finish would please his employers Giorno Citroën as they look to strengthen their lead in the Manufacturers' Championship. Danny Sordo's Citroën is not nominated to score manufacturer points. Sordo's focus is on the Drivers' Championship. He lies third in those standings. That position is largely down to his performances on the tarmac events. But he is now in a position to deliver his first podium finish on gravel. The young Spaniard is rapidly becoming the complete all-rounder. Mikko Hirvonen is another with great potential. And he has just 6 stages now between him and his best WRC finish. He will be instructed by his Ford team bosses to back off and get the car home safely. But this is not an approach he is totally comfortable with.
I hate to drive like this. It's so difficult to find the rhythm and just drive so slowly, but I'll try. At least that was steady drive and no mistakes, so that's good.
Sebastian Loeb also said yesterday that he has difficulty not driving at top speed. As with many of the drivers, he feels he can find a better rhythm when fully committed. He will struggle to find rhythm through this tortuous piece of stage, a succession of first gear hairpin bends. The red light shows when he uses the foot brake, the yellow represents the handbrake.
For the moment, no problem. Driving safely, trying to keep a good rhythm because I have to keep concentration. And but okay, at the moment it's going well.
We saw how hard Loeb was having to work in that section, a place where vital tenths can be made or lost. Using Virtual Spectator, we have positioned Loeb, Hirvonen and Xavier Pons as if they were starting level at the top of those hairpins. There is little to choose between Loeb and Hirvonen, who was separated by little more than 5 seconds on that stage. Hirvonen may be finding a little bit more power in the straights. But Pons is being left way behind, losing a substantial 3.5 seconds in just 300 metres of stage. Xavier Pons over 12 seconds slower than Hirvonen by the end of that stage. Petter Solberg set the fastest time on stage 13 and is now just 1.2 seconds behind Christian Solberg. Loeb's lead increases to over 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Loeb looks to be heading for another victory. That will be his 25th in his career, which would mean Daniel Elena becomes the most successful co-driver of all time. Follow their progress after the break. Welcome back to the Rally d'Italia. As the stages show, Sardinia is a rugged, mountainous island, its interior contrasting neatly with the idyllic beaches that are dotted around its coastline. And these are just some of the reasons the island has developed a reputation as a playground for Europe's millionaires, many of them heading to the exclusive resort of Porticcevo, which is where the rally started and where it will finish later today. But it's all heat and dust for the drivers out on the stages. Petter Solberg went into stage 14 just over a second behind Christian Solberg, and as expected, the Norwegian Solberg overtook the Finnish version to take 7th place. Quickest on the stage was the other manufacturer Subaru of Chris Atkinson.
Long 9 right plus, go to 100.
The boys in blue having a better time today. Sebastian Loeb was second fastest on stage 14, increasing his lead over Mikko Hirvonen, and confirmation there that Petter Solberg is now 7th. On to stage 15, the 16-kilometre Campovaglio test. This is Petter Solberg. This stage passes through a granite quarry, which means even more dust and even bigger rocks. Solberg's next target as he seeks to salvage something from this weekend is Jussi Välimäki.
Of a crash, keep middle of a crash, 26 left plus, the 4 right minus, keep middle of a crash, 20 short, 1 left, double tight is 10, very tight 1 right minus.
Välimäki, the reigning Asia-Pacific champion, has over 30 WRC events under his belt, but he loses time to Solberg on stage 15.
7 right, then 5.
Chris Atkinson is also a graduate from the Asia-Pacific Championship. This fast section more reminiscent of the gravel stages of Australia and New Zealand, where he learnt his trade.
8 long, 8 left plus in, 50.
Atkinson is still 5th.
And narrow 6 left. Long 5 right minus 100 right open, then tight mid 5, 50.
Mikko Hirvonen enters the quarry now.
Hidas tiukka ylinypyn, jarru 10, vaan se tosi hidas tiukka. Heti oikein hidas risteys, takaviisto, ahdas. 4.
Hirvonen through without any problems.
Vasen tosi hidas.
Loeb nearing the end of the stage.
Gauche à fond ancienne, droite centrante plus secours. Droite centrante plus court et droite centrante.
He too completes without mishap and in the fastest time. Loeb is now a level 2 minutes 40 in front of Hirvonen, and Solberg closes to within 25 seconds of Välimäki. No service stop today, but the crews regroup and refuel in the village of Archakena. They will finish by rerunning the 3 stages from this morning. 3 very important tests for Mikko Hirvonen.
Mikko, just 3 stages to go and your best ever finish. How nervous are you?
A little bit, yes, I'm nervous. It's very difficult to drive. I mean, just avoiding mistakes all the time, and it's kind of afraid to go through every corner, so it's very difficult.
Petter Solberg on his second run through the Campovaglio quarry section. had already taken another 7 seconds out of Välimäki on stage 16. And this is Välimäki on the 16-kilometre stage 17. He's now just over 17 seconds ahead of Solberg. Can he stay in front and go into the final stage still in 6th? He's well inside that target time. His advantage going into the last stage, still over 10 seconds. Välimäki was also faster than Xavi Pons, but all the Spaniard is concerned with is that he got through stages 16 and 17 without incident. He's now on the verge of his best placing of the season, which will also equal his career best WRC finish. And that is what Mikko Hirvonen is also trying to achieve. Just beware of any big rocks in those cuts.
6. Lyhyt oikein hidas ja pitkä nyppy vasen laita 3.
Sebastian Loeb was only 4th fastest on stage 16, but he's fastest on stage 17, his 8th stage win of the weekend. Loeb leads by the best part of 3 minutes now, with just the 13.5 kilometres of stage 18 to go. And that last stage is coming up after the break. The final stage of Rally d'Italia coming up. But before then, a look at how some of the drivers outside the top 8 are getting on. Manfred Stoll has been unable to make any impact this weekend. He was unhappy with the Peugeot 307 setup on day 1 and has never really recovered from the time he lost then. Francois Duval looks set to better his performance here last year, when he memorably rolled his Citroën Zara on the first day. Now in a Skoda, he's 10th. Ireland's Gareth McHale in the Ford Focus looks to be on his way to 11th position. Luis Perez Compaq, although not nominated for manufacturer points, is the best of the Stobart VK Ford entries in 12th. Andreas Eigner is the leading Skoda manufacturer car in 13th, 2 places in front of teammate Harry Rovanperä. Both have struggled this weekend. Rovanperä suffered with differential problems today, but they are still in line to pick up manufacturer points. So on to the final stage, and we're with Petter Solberg, who has just over 10 seconds to make up on Jussi Välimäki to take 6th place.
And line into late 1 left plus tightens. Opens long, tightens 2 minus, tightens 1 plus. Just 6 right plus long in very end.
That sounds like problems. He's slowing down. He's reported that his steering rack is broken. His chance of overhauling Välimäki has gone. He loses over 3 minutes as he struggles to the end of the stage that will cost him a points finish.
Something just no steering, but for Greece now we just have to push on, work harder, and I will not give up. I will be back.
Jussi Välimäki may not be aware of Solberg's problems, and this is a nervous moment for him. But 6th place should still be his. Chris Atkinson has given one of his more controlled performances and is on his way to 5th place. Just 5 kilometres of the rally to go. But he's off.
Supervision, we're off the road on the edge of the road. Trying to get back on. About 8.3k. Now!
Intense disappointment for Atkinson and co-driver Glenn McNeil, compounding another miserable weekend for the team. Here's Daniel Sordo on the final few kilometres of one of the toughest and most demanding rallies in the WRC calendar. Once again, he's showing maturity and skill beyond his years, heading for third place here and cementing third place in the World Championship. And what's more, he's now breathing down the neck of Marcus Gronholm in the title race, just 5 points behind Finland's double world champion. Second place, Mikko Hirvinen's heading for his career best finish. Some consolation for the Ford camp after Gronholm's retirement while leading the rally on day 2. The pace and performance of the Focus is really beginning to tell, and although the championship will be difficult to win, things are looking positive for the rest of the season. Hirvinen obviously delighted.
It's been very long and difficult weekend, I have to say, but luckily now the car worked perfectly, no problems, and the team did really good job, so really happy about this.
Another fantastic performance from Citroen's dynamic duo, Sebastian Loeb and his co-driver Daniel Elena, who's been at his side since he started rallying 7 years ago. A 25th rally win for Loeb, overtaking the record of the great Tommy Mäkinen and putting him level with British rallying icon Colin McRae. One more win for Loeb and he'll match the all-time record of Carlos Sainz. What a great team effort. In Argentina, Elena talked about his happiness at equalling Lewis Moyer's record for the most wins ever by a co-driver. Well, now Elena is going to hold that record on his own. 25 wins for him.
Sebastian, 5 wins in a row.
Yeah, it's since last year it's going very well for us. Our car is really strong and we have never any problem, so I hope it continues like this.
Here's confirmation of the winning margin in Sardinia. A comprehensive victory for Loeb and strong performances by both his young teammates, Sordo and Pons, to finish 3rd and 4th. The final stage disaster for the Subarus means drivers' points for Manfred Stoll and Francois Duval. So 5 in a row for Loeb and Elena, 2 times a world champion and still as competitive as ever, with a co-driver who really is head and shoulders above the rest of his profession. Daniel Elena held aloft by Kronos Citroen's Mark Marty and Carlos de Barrio.
Congratulations, Daniel. 25 victories. How does it feel to be the most successful World Rally co-driver ever?
In first, I'm sorry, very sorry for Luis, but now I'm just me in front with 25 victory. And I'm very happy and want to deduct my record and my family, my daughter and my friend Biff. You can see.
Elena paying tribute there to one member of the co-drivers union who is no longer with us, Michael Park. Loeb's position in the championship beginning to look untouchable. 31 points ahead of Marcus Gronholm, who, despite retirement in Sardinia, remains second. And Kronos Citroen have a similarly commanding lead in the manufacturers' table, but there's no change in the order. Next up, Greece. And if Loeb wins the Acropolis Rally as he did last year, he'll have 26 victories, equalling the record of former teammate Carlos Sainz, who currently tops the all-time standings.
Yes, it would be nice. I think I can win Greece. Marcus can win it also, and perhaps better, I don't know. So I'm sure in the future it will be some big fights with Marcus, because here in the start of the race, Marcus was really fast. I think a bit faster than me, and I couldn't do a lot to catch him, so I will have some difficult moments sometime.
So far it's been his rivals who've had the difficult moments. Will it be Loeb's turn in Greece? Join us for that in 2 weeks' time. Until then, you can find all the latest rally news on WRC.com.